Hi, TikTok. I wanted to try something new today. I wanted to do a video. I talk to a lot of people a lot of times about different subjects. And I have a lot of, let's say, I've done a lot of research on relationships. I've always been interested in relationships, just observing people in general. But a lot of my friends, I'm about 50, let me just say, a lot of my friends are still married, coming out of a marriage, starting to date again. So I've been talking to men and women about dating in your 50s. So first of all, I thought about, well, before you start dating, you need to know what you want. Some people don't really want a commitment. They just want to, they've been married before, they've been in committed relationships, and maybe they just want to have fun. Just somebody to go out with sometimes, maybe have drinks, have conversations, and ultimately maybe some sex sometimes. Let's just be real. Sometimes people just want to have sex. Okay, so I looked up what commitment, the actual, layman's definition for commitment. And a commitment is the state or quality of being dedicated to a cause, activity, and someone, i.e. a relationship. Similar to dedication, devotion, loyalty, allegiance, fidelity, a bond between two people. Okay, so there's 4 different types of relationships. You can have family relationships, acquaintanceships, friendships, romantic relationships, okay? So for this topic, we're going to mainly be looking at romantic relationships. If you guys want to talk about some other type of relationships or other type of issues, leave me a comment. We'll talk about some more things, and maybe I'll even get cuter for you for them. Nevertheless, romantic relationships can be viewed as voluntary relationships between individuals who have intentions on being a significant part of each other's lives. So first of all, ladies, we have to ask ourselves, are we being true to the definition of a relationship? Or are we accepting what that person is just offering us? Because we have a choice, ultimately, to settle for what somebody's offering us, or we can hold out and wait for more. Now, a friend, when we're talking about these different relationships, a friend is someone who has a mutual affection, who you have a mutual affection with. Someone that cares something about you, you care something about them. Friendships to me are relationships where nobody owes each other anything. Only maybe loyalty. You might hold my secrets, I hold your secrets. The stronger the relationship or the bond between that friendship can kind of measure how someone cares about you. An acquaintance, on the other hand, is just someone you know that you're not close to, just someone that you know. If you're a relatively friendly person, you might know a lot of people, but you might not be friends with a whole lot of people. So you might have a lot of acquaintances. I have a lot of acquaintances. I have very few friends. So I ask myself, not myself, because I don't, at this time, when I actually logically and rationally thought about relationships, I started stop making some of the mistakes that a lot of women make when it comes to relationships. And this is one of the mistakes that women make. They don't pay attention, so they start having sex with acquaintanceships. Let me tell you something, ladies. Men are not really that hard to figure out. They can say a lot of things, but they do exactly what they want to do. If they like you, they're going to call you. They're going to want to spend time with you. They're going to show you some attention. They're going to listen to the things that you say, even when you think they're not listening, because they'll bring it back up later. That's how you know they're listening. So first, you have to be honest with yourself about what you want. Do you want a committed relationship with someone, or do you just want to have sex? So you ask yourself that. Sex is a very, very strong and powerful institution between two people, not to be taken lightly. I believe in spiritual soul ties. I really do believe in them. If you want a relationship with someone, I challenge you to know yourself first. Have a relationship with yourself. Literally take care of your being, spiritually, emotionally, physically, even intellectually. Read. Take yourself out on a date. Take yourself to the park. Take a blanket. Have a picnic with yourself. People think these are silly things, but they're really not. I spend a lot of time with myself. I don't really have that much of a choice. I'm single. I don't even have any children. So I intentionally put a dog in my life so that there's another living thing in the house with me so that I don't feel like I'm going crazy. So I'm not talking to myself. I'm actually talking to a living being who actually begins to learn my speech and learns the meaning of my words. And eventually I start learning the meaning of his barks. Seriously, he's another living being. I encourage everybody to have a strong faith, a relationship with the universe in some way. Have gratitude for your creation, for being created. God created each and every one of us for a purpose. Our job, our journey is to find out what that purpose is. The sooner off you find it in your life, the happier you'll become. Have gratitude, like I said, for your creation and all the gifts that accompany your existence. I'm not like anybody else I know. At one time that made me uncomfortable. Now it makes me proud. There are gifts that I have literally not tapped into yet because until I get the confidence to try something new, like this video, I truly haven't found out what I'm good at. It could be this. Let go all your past baggage. How in the world are you going to have a decent relationship with someone holding on to the past of what somebody else did to you? That person is not responsible for what someone else did. And even if that person that caused you some type of pain mentally or whatever, you're going to have to forgive them eventually. I work with a lot of abused people, adults and children. As hard as it might be, the most successful out of all of the damaged people that I've ever met in my life had to stop focusing on their past. I'm talking about rape victims. I'm talking about children who have been physically and sexually abused. I've talked to men who've been abused, grown women that have been abused, and every last one of the successful stories that I've ever, I promise you, there's no exception. They've had to some way turn their attention away from their past, and how they get through it, because they never get over it, is some way they serve the community, helping others with that same problem that they had. True statement. Let go of all your past baggage. Your past experiences should have given you an idea of the relationship you want. I encourage anyone, seek professional help if necessary. Your level of emotional intelligence can affect the success of your relationship. It's a very important concept, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetic. That's something to think about. I'll give you a second to kind of process that. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of and control, also to express one's emotions and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetic. You do not control anyone else. Even if someone agrees to mutually be in a committed relationship with you, you do not own them. They are not controlled by you. They are not controlled by the rules of the relationship. They agree to be in agreement with you, to be in a relationship to agree to be a significant part of your life. That's what they agree to. That doesn't mean that they give up on their own life. That doesn't mean that they don't have their own life. That doesn't mean that they don't have their own feelings. And that doesn't mean that they are not going through anything either. That means that you two both agree to do it together. That means both of you have a responsibility to take care of yourself, because you're not going to be a burden on someone else. Sometimes you might be weak, that other person is going to compensate for that at that moment. But there's a beautiful dance between two people in a relationship, helping each other elevate. There's 5 components of emotional intelligence, and they are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. You're going to need all of that to be a healthy person in a relationship, to be aware of yourself, self-awareness. You're being aware of yourself, self-regulation. You're regulating yourself. You're motivating yourself. You're being empathetic to someone else. And you have social skills, meaning you can function without them socially. And then you can have an interpersonal relationship with them also. In layman's terms, make sure you're not a crazy person. You're not being emotionally holding someone in bondage. Make sure you're straight before you put yourself on the market. Know your deal breakers. Know what your deal breakers are, and so forth. Know what things about someone else that are absolutely unacceptable for you, even if they're silly. I got this thing, me personally, I don't like men with bad feet. I know that sounds crazy. And you know what? Don't judge me. But I don't like bad feet. That's not to say that my feet aren't, maybe in tip-top shape. Sometimes I try to take, the best care of myself. That's a part of my self-care, me a pedicure or something like that. But I don't like men with bad feet. Okay, so that's my deal breaker. Importantly, take a good look at yourself. Be honest about things you need to work on, and you need to start there. So before you start deciding to fill up all your time worrying about whether or not you're in a relationship or not, or whether or not people are wanting to be in a committed relationship or not, or worrying about how much income somebody makes to see if they would be a good match for you, you need to take a good look at yourself first. If I'm trying to be judgmental about some guy that could be a potential partner for me, and I'm worrying about his feet, I might need to take care of my own feet. Real talk. Self-care takes care of your well-being. It makes you a whole person. Not to mention, it will help your self-esteem. When I look in the mirror and I have a nice fresh haircut and I am cute as a button, and I've taken time to make sure my eyebrows are gorgeous, and I take the time to make sure my outfit is right, and I make sure I have on the right undergarments so everything is like nice, and it's going to help me feel better about myself. So ladies, I encourage facials, exercising, waxing, therapy if necessary, massages, everything to take you to the next level. It's called leveling up. Learn a quick and learn a few different makeup looks that work for you. YouTube is filled with instructional videos. They'll teach you how to fold your clothes. Take that time. If money is an issue, no excuses. You can do all of this on a budget. The makeup on a budget. the application, the free video, instructional videos. You don't have to take a makeup class. If you want to, by all means, do that. Take time out to put you on the level to make sure that you get the type of person, or at least the attention from the type of person that you want. Ladies, if you looking for a doctor, the Book of Solomon suggests that maybe you should be someone working in a hospital so that he can see you in the vineyard, lady. I ain't finna go on to preaching. I'm just trying to do this video, this short little video, to see people, to let people know that I can have these kind of conversations, that I can do these kind of videos. But nevertheless, moving on. Definitely, you single ladies, if you want a commitment, wait for the commitment. Don't have sex with an acquaintanceship thinking that it's going to turn into a relationship. He's hustling you. Present yourself as a kept queen, I promise you. I'm not the most beautiful person in the world. I think I'm cute. I got confidence. I worked on it. I see the type of men that I would talk to look at me all the time because I'm doing everything that I'm saying in this video. I don't have makeup on, but I look presentable. You can't see, but I promise you I smell nice. I keep nice perfume with me, samples in my purse. I have actually invested in nice perfume. Men love women who spend money on their fragrance game. I'm trying to give you ladies game. That's all I'm saying. If you have children, let me tell you something. You need to take upper echelon attention to your children. How they look, men pay attention to how you take care of your children. Not bummy men. Bummy men are still looking at the lace fronts and the lashes. Good men are looking at how good women take care of their children. Take the best care of your children, ladies. Kings, look at that. I'm only talking to queens who looking for kings. If you're looking for a good time, this is not that video. I can make that video though. Just leave me a comment in the drop, in the box down below. Just leave me a comment. We can do that video too. A good book to read about some of the things that I'm talking about, Michelle McKinney Hammond. I got to give her a shout out. I might even decide to write a book later, but I got to give her a shout out because most of the things that I do or that I'm talking about, I got these ideas from her. I'm just going to tell you the truth about submission. I really believe in it. I only believe in it when the man is a king, following the Most High King. It'll free you up to be a lady. Like I said, that'll be another talk. But learn that submission is more of a blessing when a king, when a king follows the creator of the universe spiritually. These kings know their role, and submission frees a queen to do her job. Let me tell you something. Anybody out there who plays chess knows the important role of a queen. The queen can move as many spaces as she wants on a chessboard in any direction. There's no other piece that can do that. She is very valuable to her king. Her king can only move one space at a time in any direction. What does that sound like? Sounds like to me that she's the ultimate protector of her man. And that's pretty much what a ride or die does. Man, there's so much biblical stuff and a lot of this stuff, you know, OG type of thinking. It's a lot of biblical stuff that kind of backs it up. Just let me say that a queen's job is valuable. In chess, she's the only piece that can move in any direction, as many spaces as she wants. Like I asked you before, why do you think that's so? A few reasons came to my mind, and I said ultimately she has the power to finesse any situation to benefit her king. A woman does not know how valuable she is in the kingdom. As long as she stays in her lane, she is one of the most valuable players in the board. Aren't we the lover, friend, sister, and mother to our men? In order to orchestrate the life of you, your king, you would need a high emotional intelligence. You're going to have to know who you are. You're going to have to know your role, and you're going to have to play it. You're going to have to know who you are and know how to select a king instead of an acquaintance. Learn how to seduce without giving things away. Even if you have to pleasure yourself. I had to be that abrasive, but it's true. Sometimes you're going to have to keep it to yourself strategically in order to win this battle, in order to get things straight, because our responsibility as women is so important, and because we have not really been playing our role and staying in our lane, a lot of things have been getting kind of messed up. That's just my opinion. So yes, I said it and I meant it. I feel like, ladies, you need to start knowing yourself. Men too, but I'm really concerned with ladies right now. Know yourself, know your body, know how to pleasure yourself without shame. That's something I had to work on too. Don't expect your man to always initiate. He has such a stressful role. We're like his therapist. They want to feel wanted to, just like we do. The key is to build a solid partnership with him. He needs to feel that you're his person, like you're the only one that's close to him, and that he's the closest to you. Now, in a healthy relationship, you both will have family, friends, co-workers, and so forth, but you will both be in agreement that the bond between you two surpasses the others. Of course, with exceptions, like dating with children. In that case, I feel that the children come first. That's just my opinion. I touched on getting to know your body. This is called your divine feminine energy, ladies. Your womb, your breast, your creativity, your nurturing nature is what sets you in the highest esteem to a man. Celebrate that, queens. Celebrate how different you are to a man. He appreciates it. He loves it. Our power is in the fact that we don't think like men. We don't think like men. There's so much strength in your femininity. When you let go of having to control everything, begin to orchestrate, which is far more creative than barking orders to your sweetie pie. Before I get into how to use your feminine charm to orchestrate the ideal relationship, let me help you decide on who gets this treatment. Only men whose intentions of getting married to you. Only men who have intentions on getting married to you. That man is going to be open about his life. He doesn't get out of telling you the truth. He doesn't discourage you from asking questions. He welcomes communication and is willing to work as a team with you. He has a relationship with the Most High. If he has a relationship with the Most High, he knows his likeness of him. He knows his responsibility. He holds himself accountable. That man's going to show good leadership qualities, someone who makes you feel at home, safe, and protected. You're going to know this person cares about you. They're going to want to listen to what you have to say. I would support good family relationships with children, parents, i.e. not too much family drama. There's always some. But he would have a support system, has a balance of confidence and humility. You don't want someone who worships you. Their self-esteem is low, so they turn to almost obsessing over you to the point where they could become violent or dangerous if you decided to leave them. Then you have your own personal preferences. We all have our own personal preferences on the type of men that we like. Some people like like the same type of man. I call those cookie cutters. Or if you're really in tune with yourself, you begin to appreciate the differences in people in all of your relationships. The people become different. They're not all the same type of people. So ladies, I just ask you not to lose a good man over minor things like what church you both attend. Just do it together. Ladies, if it's something simple, let him win. He'll make it up to you. You'll win in the end. Always make sure in a relationship, in a healthy relationship, that you have boundaries. Don't make it easy by going to a man's house. Go out on dates. If he doesn't date, then he's an acquaintance. So there's no need to looking for a commitment. Wishy-washy is okay for playing you, meaning getting romantic relationships from you, but giving you acquaintanceships. They decide they want to be in a relationship now, then later on the road, I think we're going too fast, or I think I'm still in love with my ex, and then later down the road, a month or two later, or a couple of weeks later, you want to start things back up again. The next thing you know, a year or two has gone by with you being really in a relationship with a tricky acquaintanceship. So now you're having sex with them, you're going back and forth, you're dating sometimes, and then maybe for 3 months y'all not doing anything. Then he comes back, then he starts it back over. That's a game. That's a game. I encourage you to be careful, be cautious, ask questions, say what you're looking for. Instead of going out on dates at night when you're getting to know people, brunches, breakfast, coffee, dessert. Don't meet up at each other's house. Meet at a mutual spot. Get to know each other. Talk on the phone for a while. Find out what someone wants before you invest time and feelings, ladies, especially ladies, because we will start showing our feelings faster. Men wait before they start investing their feelings. Women, we don't. We got to be more cautious. If he's not ready, don't wait. Waiting hurts you, not him. Men do exactly what they want to do. Raise your standards to realistic, obtainable goals in men. If you're not in the gym and eating right, don't expect Boris Cujo. Stay within your realm. That means you have to be honest with yourself. Now, if you have a plan to level up, let's say you decide, I'm going to lose 50 pounds this year. And you start eating right, drinking water, having a routine, doing, all of your own self-care. I've done that before. Do it. Have confidence in yourself. Believe that you'll get exactly what you want. You will. But you're putting the work in. So I expect you to win. You're putting the work in. So if you're taking the steps to catch the eye of someone, by all means, level up. Put the work in and use your femininity. See what happens. Remember, men, kings who want marriage have a plan. They have wheels in motion. They're not sitting around idle. They're preparing for their family. They're preparing for their kids, whether or not they have them already. They're making sure that that's not going to be a burden on you. They are handling kingdom business. I read an article done by some researchers. I can't pronounce the names. They were Indian names, but there were 3 scholars that were talking about the impact of emotional intelligence on the quality of romantic relationships. Relationships marked by high level emotional intelligence within 2 partners is more committed and stable. It not only increases the commitment level, but also increases the emotional awareness, emotional availability among partners, and an intimacy level in the relationship. The various factors defining the relationship quality were emotional awareness, consensus, satisfaction, cohesion, emotional availability, intimacy, trust, commitment level, and closeness between couples. How emotional intelligence ties in is this: your ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions as well as the emotions of others. How well do you comfort yourself from feelings of anxiety, fear, distress, or irritability? How do you handle that on your own without causing that to be a burden on someone else? How do you motivate yourself? Can you put yourself in someone else's shoes? Can you be empathetic? Feel what someone else could be feeling? When can you recognize what you're feeling? Being self-aware. You begin to understand how other people feel. So when you start to understand how you feel, you begin to understand how other people feel. This leads to a better understanding of social cues that indicate what other people are feeling or what they want at that moment. So when he keeps sending you to voicemail, never answers your phone, never answers his phone when you're calling, or never asks you out other than to his house for just sex, or that off and on thing that I was talking about, only when he's hungry or broke. Avoids answering questions pertaining to his residence or employment, marital status, or number of children. That's a game player. That's a guy that's playing games. That's a guy that probably doesn't want a commitment or is not ready for one. So that was just what I wanted to talk about. I'm curious to know what some of you guys think about what I'm saying. Let me know. Leave me some comments below. But thank you for listening. Hope you guys have a great day.